Good morning. 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 Great day. Good morning. I hope everybody had a great day, a great night's sleep. If you did not, I hope today is a better day for you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am Shantae Charles, and you're on You Got This. Excuse me. Good morning. We're just going to wait to see who else comes on before I dive into what I want to talk about. Good morning. Hope you guys had a great night's sleep. If you didn't, I hope today will be a better day for you. Where are you guys watching from? I'm in North Dakota. It is so weird because uh, North Dakota is the weirdest weather. So all of the snow was just about melted. Hey Canada, all of the snow was just about melted. It was so warm outside, warm for North Dakota. It was 40 something degrees yesterday. It was so warm yesterday that when I came back, I I came back from taking my kids to school. I changed my clothes. I put on shorts to get on my treadmill or what have you. And when the afternoon came, it was still warm, and I was like, you know what? It's warm enough that I should just go out in my shorts when I went to go pick up my kids. But I'm like, as for years I've said other people are kind of crazy going out in 40-degree weather with shorts on. I did it, but by the time 5 o'clock came yesterday, it was snowing. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I can't believe it's snowing. And then I'm like, why am I surprised? It's North Dakota. It's North Dakota. Why am I shocked? I've been here 13 years. I should not be surprised that it is snowing after all the snow has just about melted. It is not unusual. It's not unusual. Anyway, I'm Shantae Charles, and you are watching. Excuse me. You're watching. You Got This. Your daily dose of morning inspiration and encouragement. And it's to encourage you, just as it says, you got this. You got this. You know, a lot of times we stress, we worry, um, and we stress and worry about things that we have. Excuse me. Excuse me. We stress and we worry about things that we have absolutely no control over. We have absolutely no control over. And I just want to encourage you guys rest, to rest. I had to even tell my own self that I wasn't stressed or, so to say, or worried about anything in particular. Not in the forefront of my mind, I should say. But I found myself when I was go to bed at night, I found myself not fully resting. I found myself that my mind was be going because throughout the day I have ideas I come up with. I'm working on things. I have my kids, my husband, my older son. He's homeschooled now. So just trying to make sure that he is getting what he needs at homeschool. Now, it's not a curriculum that I'm building. It's online school through Liberty University, but still, I have to be involved and make sure that he is where he needs to be. And then my other three kids, um, it gets to be a lot. And with running my business and um, making sure that my husband has what he needs from me, I found myself that when I would go to bed at night, that my mind would still be like going, 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 thinking about the next day. Oh, I do this, do that, coming up with the next idea, or don't forget to take Aaron to speech therapy, and don't forget to call the school for this. I wasn't just relaxing and letting the day be over and letting my mind be at ease. And that was causing stress, not stress that, not typical stress for me of like anxious and anxiety of like, oh God, you know how normally, well, for me, when I'm stressed, well, when I notice that I'm stressed, when I really feel stressed, it's like a tenseness or anxiety or just a worry, like a strong worry in your mind. Well, this wasn't the case. It was a worry that I didn't know that I was worrying. I just realized that when I went to bed at night, that I was not turning off the thoughts of tomorrow or what happened during that particular day. My mind was still going. And I had to tell myself um, to rest, that everything is going to be okay, to just rest, that God's got it. Stop worrying and just rest. I hope you guys know what I mean because it was not a typical stress or worry. If you understand what I'm saying, what I'm trying to explain, type a one in the comment box for me just so I know that I'm actually explaining this well because I feel like maybe I'm not doing a good job of explaining. But if you understand what I mean, type a one in the comment box. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. But thank you. I found that I wasn't resting. I was going to bed, I was going to sleep, but I wasn't at complete rest. My mind was not turning off the cares of the world. And I found myself when I found this was happening, like, hey, Shantae, you're not completely resting. I had to start telling myself, okay, I had to be conscious of the fact that I was not resting because not resting is not good for you. We need rest. We need to decompress. We need to be stress free. Because I'm like, okay, I don't want to have a heart attack. I don't want to have a stroke. And my blood pressure wasn't up. It wasn't through the roof. I just noticed that I was not I was not resting. That my mind was always turning, always thinking about something. Especially a lot of times when it comes to business, like, okay, I can do this, I got this idea, I got that idea. But I had to start telling myself when I go first I had to tell myself I'm gonna go to bed at a decent hour because I found myself going to bed like late. It's like, why are you going to bed late? You work from home, your husband works or what have you, and you don't work for anybody, so you don't have to meet these deadlines like ASAP, or you're gonna be in trouble. I had to tell myself, you have a you have a privilege of not doing this. So go to bed. Go to bed. So I had to tell myself, I'm gonna start going to bed at 9:30, not later. Go to bed. And when I get into bed, I'm going to relax. Turn it off and relax and go to sleep and not worry about the things that I didn't get done or the things I want to get done tomorrow. And for the first few nights, it was not easy. And even now, sometimes I feel myself, the wheels turning in my head, and I have to tell myself, relax. Tomorrow is another day. Just I find myself telling myself to quiet myself, quiet the thoughts in my head, and rest. To rest. So I wanted to talk about resting, the importance of resting, and to trust God that it's all going to be okay. Because for me, I figured out part of me not resting was lack of trust. Lack of trust in God that He's got me and that everything is going to be okay. I don't have to be in complete control. If I trust God, everything's going to be all right, especially with my son in homeschooling. I took him out of public school because he wasn't getting in any trouble. He wasn't having any issues in school, but I felt like he wasn't getting what he needs from school. He's in fifth grade, and a lot of things I felt like, wait a minute, you why don't you know this? Um, yes, God is always working in the background, and I gotta let him do his job, and oftentimes I say, let God be God. Let God be God. He doesn't need our help. He's the master of it. He doesn't need our help. He has it all under control. So I can let God be God. But especially with my son, like he wasn't getting into trouble in school, but I just felt like he wasn't where he should be academically. And I'm like, what is going on? And then after homeschooling him, I'm like, some of these things I don't understand why you don't know. Like they have them do a lot of fill in the blank. It's like when I was in school, we didn't do fill in the blank. You had to write the whole thing out. You should know how to write a complete, not just fill in the blank. So I've found myself like getting worried, like, oh Lord, he's in fifth grade. He doesn't know these things and trying to catch him up. And the Lord said to me, he's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. Just get books and things. Let him do the work that he has online from school online. And in the summertime, have him work on the things that he needs to work on. But don't stress yourself. He's okay. And the bottom line is really it's only fifth grade. It's not like he's in high school about to graduate and he can't read. He can read. He reads very well, very very well. But just for example, it's not like he's in high school. He's great graduating and you figuring out, oh my child can't read. Some parents I'm like, how did you not know your child could not read all these years? I'm kind of confused. What were you doing? What were you doing? Confused. But I had to tell myself it's gonna be okay. And I want to encourage you all to rest. Rest. We think we have to handle everything. We do have to do our part, but the things that we have no control over, we have to give it to God. We have to rest. We have to trust that everything is going to be okay, even if things are not going the way we planned. Even if we did some things wrong and things aren't going the way we planned, we have to pray, give it to God. Hey, I did this wrong. I made a mistake, and then give it to Him and trust that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay because he's got us. He's got us. And we don't, life is not always going to be perfect. We're not always going to make the right decisions. We're going to do some things wrong. But just like if you're a parent, of course you guys know I'm a mother. My children don't do everything right. I told my kids to clean their room over the weekend. I told them, clean your room, pull out your bed, get the stuff from behind the bed and under the bed, vacuum behind the bed. I asked my son, well, I have all of my sons. I have all boys, so I don't know why I said I asked my son. I asked my oldest, is your room clean? Yes. Did you do it like I said? Yes. I went in there. That room was not clean to my standards. I said, I thought I told you to pull this bed out, vacuum under this bed, do this. Oh, and I'm like, I know your ears work fine. I know you heard me. But he still ate that night. I still fed him. He came later and he asked for something from me and his grandmother. My mom was over. And he still got it. Just because he didn't do everything perfect didn't mean that I just threw him away and stopped taking care of him. It's the same thing with God. Just because we may make some mistakes, we don't do everything right. Because sometimes we get our own stuff in situations. I know I have sometimes in life. I got my own stuff in a couple of situations. But I asked God for help and He helped me. He doesn't just utterly throw us away. So we have to learn to rest in Him, even in the things that we did wrong. Even in the things that we did wrong. And I'm not saying just go out there and be doing things, um, a lot of things wrong on purpose. Talking about, oh, I can do this, I can do that, because God got me. And no, it doesn't work like that. But I mean, if we um, just make a mistake, we just make a mistake. Even even if we got ourselves into the mess, pray about it, give it to God, and rest. Because truthfully, what is worrying gonna do? Worrying isn't gonna help the situation. Worrying is gonna aid you. It's gonna give you stress. It's gonna raise your blood pressure. And when your blood pressure is high and too high too long, it wreaks havoc on your body. It's not good for your health. You can have a stroke, you can have a heart attack, you can have a multitude of problems. And then if you don't have a stroke or you don't have a heart attack, stress will age you. Stress will have you looking 60 and you're nowhere near 60. Stress will have you looking wrinkled and old and just beat down. As my grandmother would say, drove hard and hung up wet. Stress will have you looking drove hard and hung up wet. So we have to learn to rest. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Excuse me, my throat. Um, that we have to learn to rest. Rest. Even even if you have financial problems, and I'll say this and then I'll be done. I remember when I previously owned a home, not the home me and my husband own now, but years ago before I got married, and before way before I met my husband, I bought a home. I bought a home, and then the economy went bad. Found myself without a job. I started a business. It didn't go well. The economy shifted, and I found myself in financial trouble. Financial trouble. I could not pay my mortgage. I could not pay my mortgage. I was worried. I was really worried because the home that I owned was the home that my dad grew up in. And when he and my mother decided they wanted to move from Florida, leave Florida, they sold me the house. So I bought the house because I wanted to keep it in the family and what have you. Um, but and then I started doing some work on the house. Started doing some work on the house, and my mother said to me, "Sell the house." And I was like, "No, I'm not gonna sell." Then she said, "Sell the house." And then I said, "Oh, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." and I would fix something, get that fixed, and my mother would say, sell this house. And I would say, no, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this next. And my mother would say, I'm telling you to sell this house. I did not listen to her. Now, at the time when she was telling me to sell the house, I still had a job, still able to make the mortgage and what have you. But she kept saying, sell this house. I'm telling you to get rid of this house, sell it. I, I didn't listen to her. I didn't listen. Then I found myself without a job, and the market shifted, and I could not pay my mortgage, got behind in the mortgage, and I was stressed because I'm like, I'm gonna lose the home, I'm gonna go into foreclosure, and I'm gonna lose the family home, the home my dad grew up in, which I don't know why I was stressed about that because my parents were telling me to get rid of the house. So it was not even a big deal that, hey, you're getting rid of the home that he grew up in. My dad lived in that home since he was 10 years old. And at that time, I don't know how old my dad was, but a whole lot older, 40 years older, might have been like 50 something. I'm not sure. But anyway, it had been in the house, in the family a very long time. And the market shifted. My business didn't go how I thought. I didn't have a job any longer. And I found myself struggling to make ends meet. And I left Florida, went to Georgia, still owned a home, left Florida, went to Georgia to move in my parents' house or whatever. Thought I was going to lose the house to foreclosure. And for a long time, I was like not sleeping at night, could not sleep, stress, worry, I'm going to lose the home to foreclosure. Now, at that time in Florida, foreclosure court was like backed up. I would get a notice saying, oh, you're going to foreclosure court on this day. Then I would get another notice saying, oh, change the date. That went on for 3 long years. I did not pay a mortgage payment. 3 years that went on. And I was worried. It wasn't until I stopped worrying. Something just clicked and I stopped worrying. And I remember I had to write a paper for, I don't know what college class was. I'm not sure which class it was. And the paper was, um, what was the title of the paper? A house is not a home. A house is not a home. And after writing that paper, I broke free of the fact of, oh, you might lose this house and just worry. I started resting. I let it go. I let it go because that thing was eating me alive. I was so worried and so stressed that I was gonna lose the home to foreclosure. Oh, my credit's gonna be whatever, and I'm gonna lose the home that my dad grew up since he was 10. Other people in the family are gonna be talking about me and what have you. But when I let go of that and I started resting, shortly after that, I found a job here in North Dakota. The job relocated me here. I came here, and shortly after coming here, I was able to sell my home. I was able to sell the house. The house didn't even go into foreclosure. I was able to sell it, and I got some money off of the house. I made some money from the house. Um, but that thing had me stressed to the max until I decided I'm going to let this go. I had no control over whether or not it was going to go on foreclosure. So I want to encourage you, if you're having financial problems, let it go. Worrying is not going to fix it. Now, do pray and ask God to give you a plan, to give you a solution, to give you a strategy to help you make some money to help you get out of your financial problem. But stressing is not going to fix it. Stressing is not going to fix it. It's going to make things worse because your blood pressure is going to be up. Not getting sleep is going to tire you out. You're going to be tired the next day. Give it to God and rest. Let it go. Let it go. And I know it may be easier said than done. It's not easy, but it goes back to, do you trust God? Do you trust God? I had to get to the point that even if I lose this home to foreclosure, thank God that I'm not going to be homeless. Okay, I lost my house to foreclosure, but I still have some place to stay. My parents' house. I'm not on the street. One day I'll be able to buy another house. I sold the home. Once I stopped worrying about it, I found a job, moved to North Dakota, and was able to sell the home. And then I found out after I started my business here in North Dakota, I figured out how to fix my credit and all that good stuff. So I've rebounded. I've rebounded from the very thing that once had me stressed and worried. And I own a home again. I just wanted to come on and give you guys some encouragement and let you know, hey, rest. Whatever you got going on in life, turn that thing over to God and rest. When you find yourself like I was laying down at night and you find your mind still going, the wheels turning, tell yourself, enough, rest. Sometimes we got to talk to ourselves. You know, people say don't talk to yourself, but sometimes you have to talk to yourself. And I don't mean all the time out loud, but sometimes you got to talk to yourself in your mind and tell yourself, enough, enough. My mind has been going all day. It is time for me to rest. I am going to sleep. Tomorrow is another day. Rest. Tomorrow's another day. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the love and support. Listen, I hope y'all was on last night on the 6-day Monetize Your Genius Challenge. I hope you were on. And was anybody on that's on right now? Put a 1, put a 2 in the comment box and let me know if you were on last night. I hope you guys were on. I hope you guys were on. We'll be back on tonight, day 2 of the 6-day Monetize Your Genius Challenge. Oh, great, 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 great. If you were on Zoom, I was on Zoom. I was on Zoom. I was on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn all at the same time. I don't know if something happened to Zoom because once I connect to the software that allows me to go live on all platforms, I can't see every little detail. So if you made some comments, oh, okay, great. You're gonna watch it all before it's gone. Yes. So if you make comments and I don't read your comments, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It may be one, I'm in the zone of teaching whatever I'm teaching. Number two, I may not see your comment immediately because of the software that I'm using. Um, Especially Facebook. Facebook sometimes comments don't come up till whenever they feel like showing you, might be 4 days later. But if you were on Zoom, someone told me that the Zoom link disappeared. I'm not sure what happened with that, but the replay is still on here on YouTube. It'll be up until about 5:30 this evening, so you can catch the replay, go back and watch it. If you weren't on, I want to encourage you to come on to day 2, Monetize Your Genius. It's a 6-day challenge. It'll be going till Saturday. Um, Through Friday, it'll be 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Saturday, it's going to be in the morning so we can do it and get that out of the way so we can have the rest of our afternoon, our Saturday, to do all the fun stuff that we want to do. I want to encourage you that if you are in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, not having enough, or maybe you're not even in the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, but we're in a time that you need to have more than one source of income. We cannot solely depend on our jobs because we know these jobs ain't loyal, not even the government jobs at this time. And government jobs used to be secure. You work for the state, federal government, or the county, and you had it made till you felt like retiring. But not these days. There is no such thing as job security. We all need more than one source of income. So the Monetize Your Genius 6-day challenge is to help you tap into what you already know that you can monetize. There is something that we already have that we're good at, that we can monetize. Sometimes we just don't know what that thing is. But the 6-day challenge is to help you figure out your unique gifts and talents that you can monetize to help you make money. My goal for this year is to help 100 people cross over to six-figure salary. 100 people, 100K, so six-figure. And a lot of people say six figures. That's not no money these days. Well, you do know that six figures is still even a $500,000. I mean, come on. Who says six figures is just 100K? Now, I do say 100 people, 100K, because it sounds kind of catchy, it sounds catchy. But even 250, 300,000, what have you, that's still six figures. Okay? It's still six figures. So I hope to see you there. Hope to see you there. Come back this evening. Again, it's going down at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, be blessed, have a prosperous future, and see you this evening.